In today's video, we'll be solving the question 5 of the 2018 Nov-Dec commerce theory questions. So let's begin with question 5. The probability that Ade, Kofi, and Fatih will pass an examination are 2/3, 5/8, and 3/4 respectively. Find the probability that A, the 3 of them will pass the examination, B, none of them will pass the examination, and C, Ade and Kofi only will pass the examination. So let's begin with our solution. So the probability that Ade would pass is 2/3. Probability that Kofi will pass is 5/8. And then the probability that Fatih will pass is 3/4. So A, we are being asked to find the probability that the 3 of them will pass. So it means Ade will pass and Kofi will pass and Fatih will pass. So probability that all 3 will pass is equal to the probability that Ade will pass. And so end in probability means multiplication. So probability that Ade will pass and Kofi will pass and Fatih will pass, so times P of F. So this will be equal to 2/3 times 5/8 times 3/4. So 2/3 times 5/8 times 3/4 would give us 5/16. So the probability that all of them will pass is 5/16. Now B says find the probability that none of them will pass the examination. So B, probability that none will pass. So it will be the probability that Ade will not pass. So probability that Ade will not pass and Kofi will not pass and Fatih will not pass. And in probability, we know that probability of X plus probability of not X is equal to 1. So if you are finding the probability of not X, it will be 1 minus the probability of X. So probability of not X is equal to 1 minus probability of X. So if you want to find the probability that Ade will not pass, P of A prime will be equal to 1 minus the probability that Ade will pass. And this is 1 minus. The probability that Ade will pass is 2/3. So we have 1 minus 2/3, which is equal to 1/3. The probability that Kofi will not pass is equal to 1 minus the probability that Kofi will pass. And this is 1 minus. The probability that Kofi will pass is 5/8. So 1 minus 5/8. And this is equal to 3/8. So we need to find the probability that Fatih will not pass. So P of F prime is equal to 1 minus P of F, which is 1 minus the probability that Fatih will pass is 3/4. So 1 minus 3/4. And this is equal to 1/4. And like I said, the probability that none will pass is P of A prime times P of K prime times P of F prime. So probability of none will pass will be equal to A prime is 1/3. So 1/3 times 3/8 times 1/4. And this should give us 1/32. So the probability that none of them will pass is 1/32. So C, it says find the probability that Ade and Kofi only will pass the examination. This means that Ade will pass, Kofi will pass, but Fatih will fail. Okay. So probability that Ade and Kofi only will pass is equal to the probability that Ade will pass and Kofi will pass and Fati will fail. So this will be equal to the probability that Ade will pass is 2/3. So 2/3 times the probability that Kofi will pass is 5/8 times the probability that Fati will not pass is 1/4. And when we do this, we should get 5/48. So this is the probability that only Ade and Kofi will pass. Now this brings us to the end of question 5. In our next video, we'll be solving the question 6 of the 2018 Nov-Dec Commerce Theory questions. Now don't forget to like and subscribe for more content, and don't hesitate to leave your questions in the comment section as well.